You'd never expect a 6-ton killer to wear a smile, but sometimes monsters look like friends. Jessica Radcliffe was a rising star in the world of marine performance. She wasn't just good, she was one of the best. Her connection with orcas seemed almost supernatural. People said she could feel them before they even moved. She believed in the bond between human and whale. But what do you do when the thing you love turns on you? This is the story of Jessica Radcliffe and the orca that made her a legend. For all the wrong reasons, Jessica wasn't born near the ocean, but from the time she was a child, she was obsessed with it. While most kids played with dolls or bikes, Jessica memorized orca behavior charts. She had posters of dolphins and sea lions. She wasn't fascinated by the ocean's beauty. She was consumed by its mystery. By her 20s, she wasn't just dreaming about orcas. She was training them. She joined Ocean Haven, a marine park inspired by SeaWorld, and quickly rose through the ranks. Her star companion? Makalo, an orca stretching over 22 feet long, weighing over 12,000 pounds. He was strong, charismatic, a crowd favorite, but Makalo had secrets. Behind the scenes, trainers whispered about his erratic behavior, bouts of aggression, mood swings, disobedience during feeding. One trainer even had to leap out of the pool when Makalo lunged during a routine. But Jessica, she never saw the danger. Or maybe she refused to. She said he was misunderstood. She said he needed connection, not control. And then came the day when that connection was tested. The stadium was packed, thousands of families, children clutching cotton candy, applause thundering as Jessica stepped onto the stage. She smiled, gave the signal. Makalo leapt, soaring through the air like a torpedo. The crowd roared. Everything was perfect until it wasn't. For the grand finale, Jessica dove into the tank to perform their synchronized routine. Makalo circled her, playful, just like always. Then, suddenly, without warning, he snapped. With terrifying speed, he clamped his massive jaws around her torso and dragged her under. The audience thought it was part of the act until they saw the water turn red. Trainers screamed. Emergency sirens blared. Fish were thrown, ropes, poles, distractions. Nothing worked. Makalo thrashed her like a rag doll. He wasn't performing anymore. He was killing. By the time Jessica's body surfaced, it was too late. She died in front of thousands, crushed, drowned, not by a wild orca, but by one she thought was her friend. And that's not the most disturbing part, because Jessica wasn't the only one. You see, just a few years earlier, another man, Daniel Dukes, broke into SeaWorld after hours. He was found dead the next morning, floating naked in Tillicum's tank. His body? Mutilated. His fate? Sealed by a single decision to get close to an animal that didn't want to be a prisoner. Then there's Titan, another orca, taken from the wild as a calf. Years in captivity twisted him. He pulled a trainer under in 1991. She didn't survive. Still, they kept him in shows. Why? Because we loved the fantasy, the majestic leap, the choreographed splash, the illusion that these apex predators were nothing more than giant water puppies. But they're not. They're killers, not by nature, but by captivity. In the wild, orcas swim up to 100 miles a day. They live in tight family pods. They hunt. They play. They're free. In tanks, they go in circles. They lose their minds. They lash out. And then we ask, why did it attack? What if the real question is, why are they still locked up? Jessica's death wasn't just a tragedy. It was a revelation. After her passing, Ocean Haven shut down permanently. Makalo was sent to a sea sanctuary, away from crowds, from cameras, from people. But the damage was done. The cracks in the industry were showing, and through those cracks, the truth spilled out, cold, silent, and unforgiving. Whales aren't here to entertain us. They're not circus animals. They don't want our praise. They want the one thing we keep taking from them, freedom. So the next time you see a smiling dolphin or a leaping orca, ask yourself, is that joy or just well-trained despair? And if one day it stops smiling, well, you already know how that ends.